Hi, Professor. So sorry. I don't know what happened there.
Okay, no problem. Okay, I'll share a screen again.
Yeah, perfect. All right, we'll get started in just 2 minutes, everyone. While we get started, I do want to invite everyone to go ahead and greet each other in the chat. Let us know where you're calling in from and maybe what chapter you belong to. We have Cristina from Salt Lake City, Christian from Oklahoma, Efren from TAMU, Corpus Christi, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And Christina says she recently moved.
Ah.
I hope it's not too cold for you, Christina, in Salt Lake City. All right, well, welcome everyone. Buenas tardes, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Esther Gonzalez, and I'm a director on the Research and Innovation team here at SHIP. And we're really excited to have the third component of our scholarship webinar series, Telling Your Story Through a Compelling Essay. So as most of you know, the essay component is one of the main components of your scholarship application. There's in fact three different short essay questions in the scholarship application. And so we hope that today's experience will equip you and make you confident as you take on those essays. I would like to remind everyone that the essays are a great opportunity to share with the reviewers information that they cannot gather from your other scholarship application materials, such as your resume or your transcript or your letter of recommendation even. So it's really an opportunity for the reviewers to get to know you. As we have done with other presentations, we will be posting a recording, although it won't be this one. It will be a separate recording with similar content. And so once that's posted, we encourage you to share the recording with any of your friends or SHIP members that may have missed this webinar for any number of conflicts. Without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker today. Our guest speaker is Associate Professor Leonardo Chamorro from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Leonardo has comprehensive experience evaluating academic essays for school and fellowship applications, both in the US and internationally, including the US National Science Foundation Graduate Research Fellowship Program and the Flounders Foundation in Belgium for graduate and postdoctorate levels. He is currently the chair of one of the programs with the Founders Foundation. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Leonardo.
Okay, thank you very much, Esther, and hello everyone. And please, I wanted to have a rich experience today. So please feel free to ask questions at any time or whatever, interrupt at any time. So Esther, if you can help with that also, please, let's do that. Okay, so let me share the screen if it works. Can you see that?
We see the slide with the speaker version.
Oh, okay. So let me, I think I have. One second. Okay. So, okay. So let me then, let me follow. I think it will mess, the computer will mess up things, things up. So let me go just with this without.
Yeah, this looks good here.
This looks okay. The only thing is that it's not, doesn't have animations, so it's okay. Okay, perfect. Okay. Hello everyone again. Okay, so I am associate professor. I have some experience, some years of experience writing and reviewing essays of different kinds, small, longs, at different levels for high school to undergrad, undergrad to doctoral PhDs, and also for PhD through postdocs, and also postdoc to faculty. So I have that, I have seen those essays, and then I have seen different patterns. And then also I have seen what excites reviewers and the committee. And then I just wanted to transmit this experience to you today. So if you wanted to know about more of our work, you can scan this code bar in your cell phone, and then you can see some of what my group members do. Okay, background first. I strongly recommend you before writing your essay, whatever it is, long, short, at different levels, to go for these actually fantastic previous talks last years by Dr. Erica Silva, and moderated by Esther Gonzalez. And then here is the link, which also calls for another talk, TED talk by Simon Sinek, which provides the idea of a fantastic idea of the three questions: why, how, and what, and the way that you should, according to Simon, how you should organize your presentation, your essay. And very briefly, what Erica and Simon said is that instead of saying what do you do, and through how and then why, we should start on why we do this, and why in the core sense of the concept. And then answering this why question up front of your essay might trigger the interest of the reviewers and committee. Okay, so this is a very, very, very crucial, and then I agree with Erica, Esther, and Simon on this. This is a central step in your essay. So I strongly recommend, please go to these two YouTube videos, and then to learn more about that. I wanted to elaborate and add a little bit on this concept. So first, why? In your essay, you have to convey, you have to tell the reader, your committee member, your reviewer, the person that is taking the decision among many hundreds of applicants, know about you, and they know why you are applying, what is your purpose, your motivation, and your goals. That has to be, please, very clear, very clear. What is the ultimate purpose of your what you're looking for? Your essay has to tell that clearly, sharp, with few words. And then don't think in the short, don't think in just in the immediate future, but think about in the long term. Think about how that purpose affects your community, your family, community, society, So that can triggers a big waves, big waves in the review committee. Okay, and also what motivates you. Okay, so this is important, and of course, please state your goals very clearly. So those concepts are essential elements on why. Okay, and also I concur here with Erica and Esther on you don't have to forget that what is the target. You are writing to whom? A person, an institution, a college, an industry, a national lab, etc. So you have to learn about the organization. You have to learn about the people. You have to learn about people hiring you, where you're working on, or where you are going to study, etc. So knowing the route, what they want, where they are going, and how you can contribute to that effort is central. So you should tell that, and then you should tune your writing towards that. Okay, so the target is absolutely important, and all of this why target can be very short, or can be in one paragraph, in couple of sentences, or on 2 pages. Okay, but this is very important. And then also you have to tell really about you, your uniqueness, the challenge that you have faced, how adaptable you are to those challenges, how resilient you are to problems, challenge, obstacles, and how you have swim around those difficulties. I know that most of you, or all of you, has faced some challenge, difficulties in your life. So you should tell the reader about that. Okay, you should tell about your failures, how also your success, your strengths, and then it's a footprint of yourself. So you are unique. So you have to tell that, and then try to tell that part of you as best as you can. I don't know you, but I know many of you, many of students, and then we are made, I think, most of us are made out of steel. We have faced many challenges in our life. So you have to tell that. And then institutions, your college, institution, your national lab, etc., will see that. But they cannot see if you don't tell that, or you tell loosely. Okay, so that is very important. Talk about you. Okay, and the last one, which is not less important, is that you have to be concise. You have to send the message very precise, concise, not unnecessary words, because readers are very busy people, doesn't have much time, has to revise 10, 20, 100, several hundreds applications, and they have to continue working on other things. So they get tired, as we all get tired. So it have few minutes eventually for you. So you have the writing has to be of high quality. Okay, it means that it requires time. So you have heard this many times, but I wanted to stress always. I never stop stressing to my students, to applicants, to everyone. Proofread it, writing, edit, proofread it, give it to somebody to read, and so on. Go over the next day, go over the next week, go over during the coffee break, go over wherever you go. You are in the bus, you are whatever you are doing, think about your essay. It's a central part of your future. Okay, so you have to be very precise on that. A typo in your essay is a killer. A not well elaborated sentence is a killer. If you have a colon instead of a dot, it's bad for you. And that might be the difference between you going up or staying there. Okay, so those minor changes might have a big impact, and they have a big impact. I have seen that. How that affects. Okay, so let me elaborate on some of these concepts a bit more. So your essay, okay, one paragraph, 200 words, 2 pages, is a key opportunity for you to talk to the reviewer and the committee. Okay, it's your opportunity, it's the opportunity to tell the reviewer about your goals, your motivation, your plans, who are you, and why you deserve that what you are looking for. Okay, so it's a central piece. Okay, so be careful, spend time of that, and treat that as a main component of your part of your future. Your future started long ago, but this is a central part that might imply different paths. In your essay, as I mentioned, you have to tell. There are many essays, hundreds of essays, but your essay is unique. You are unique, and you have to tell that. So you have to send the message. Why you are unique? Because you are you connect dancing with mathematics. You connect music, violin, music with physics, or whatever. Or you like nature and then wanted to connect it with the climate and then you are aware of that or whatever. This is you are unique. You have to send that message through the essay. And those messages, those elements vibrate with the reviewers and the committee, okay? And here I'm talking about can be 1 paragraph, can be 2 pages, okay? So this has to be your words. Your words really can shake the reviewer. So when you are elaborating your essay, okay, at the center core of your essay, in front of your computer, preparing for submitting this, writing this, the first part is you have to think about your vision. Your vision. You have, please tell your short, intermediate, and long-term goals. You have to elaborate on your strengths. Of course, you can elaborate on your weakness in a way that you are flexible. How you learn from weakness and make it strength. Okay. So this is really you. And then if you have plans to contribute, community, society, family, other team members, mention that. Don't leave things that what is due left, okay, outside. You should include those. And also, which I value particularly in my case, is I like to see many of the applicants which can adapt to new environments. This is, for me, is meritorious. Some people living in another culture different language, and then you come, or you are in another state or another country, etc. You are faced with a different culture, different language, different weather. And somebody from, for instance, in Caribbean or hot, and then you go, imagine, to Minnesota, Salt Lake City, cold, and so on. Those, how you adapt to those, how you are, your adaptation, you are resilient. That, how you face those, you swim through that turbulent river to the other side, to look for, to fight for your goals. And that has to be written. You have to express that in your essay, okay? So it is very, and also, of course, academic strength also, but this element helps in your academic strength. This also helps to explain that maybe one semester you have problems with some GPA, but it's not because of you, because maybe some all external factors. So those have to be elaborated and explained. Okay, so people reviewing is the same as you, but with years of experience. So they understand you as soon as you send these messages. Okay, so please try to elaborate on that. And general recommendations. That is very, very, very important. You have to go to your essay multiple times during the day or different days. Don't leave it at the last minute. Remember, the essay has impact in your future. Some people tell me, okay, you know, when I am under pressure, I can do is my best performance because I am so in pressure that I'm forced to come up with something. But okay, yes. Everyone has done that. But this is so important that you cannot, you shouldn't do that, rely on that here. And always remember, going multiple times, you allow polishing over and over, and then hopefully many times you are reaching asymptotically to your version, okay, your essay. But that's require time and effort. And then you have to elaborate on this concept. And these concepts are not easy to articulate, Why you do that? Why you're requesting this? Who are you? And what are your strengths, your adaptability, etc. All of this requires time. And then you just need to start. You need to start and then polish. It's all, don't try to be, to write a perfect sentence at once, because you will have many ideas crossing, maybe no idea, but you have to start. It means that you have to go over multiple times. Okay, so let me restate again here that in an essay, you should talk to the reviewer. You are unique. What is your vision? Your goals, strengths, how you plan to contribute, and how you are adaptable to different environments. Okay, central elements. Plus your own, plus whatever extra you wanted to say. Something very important also, format and presentation. The overall structure of your essay, think about the main message of each paragraph. Because words are limited in your essay, could be 200, could be 2 pages. Each paragraph has to deliver specific message. So you have to see what the paragraph will tell specifically. Don't mess things up. And also the order of the paragraph. That is very important. And also vocabulary. Try to use sort of advanced formal language, but has to be clear to everyone. Okay, don't use NIC32 compound. Nobody will understand that. But if you write it in a simple way, but in a sort of formal language, is good. Think about sentence. Long versus short. If your message is clear, you might consider writing short sentences. Okay, or if you have multiple concepts in one sentence, okay, maybe long, or maybe you can split it in short. Okay, think of when you read it in a different day, see how you feel tired when you are reading the sentence. Remember, your reviewer doesn't have much time, so help him to understand you as fast as possible. Okay, this is very crucial. Highlights. You might highlight something about you. You know, you are a ballet dancer, you are a violinist, in addition to studying engineering. So you might wanted to highlight that, or you have discovered something, or you wanted to, or you have contributed to climate change. I don't know, but maybe you might highlight that stand out in your essay. Okay, so the reviewer can immediately see that. So how you can do that? Maybe a very brief paragraph. You have a large paragraph, maybe a very short paragraph, and then you can continue with your large paragraph. That short paragraph will be clear to everyone. Maybe you can use bold letter or underline letters. Depends on the style, okay? But it's good eventually to highlight some concepts. Usually, always you might be thinking about formal, semi-formal, or informal writing. I would say that formal is preferred, formal, but showing your character and style, your own style, your fingerprint. Okay, your fingerprint might show up there, but in a bit formal way. Okay, to honor the reviewers and so on, honor the process and have respect for the process. And other remarks, that's why it requires your essay should go several, you should revisit essay several times, is that you should consider writing with depth. Not just the first sentence come up from your mind and then you write it like that, No, elaborate on the sentence and send a message behind the sentence, a second layer in your writing. Okay, enrich your writing so the reviewer, even if it's busy or reading diagonally, will catch a sentence, and then if some sentence keep the reviewer thinking about that. Okay, so that means that what I'm trying to say with the write with depth. One example, for instance, is the quote analysis. You might quote somebody. Actually, I will show you some quotes. You might show somebody quotes, but you can say, I concur with this author on this aspect. Or you can say, overall, I agree with him, but I would add this. You see, you challenge the what is established, the knowledge established, or the famous quote, by adding your own analysis, your own thoughts. And that is very good. Okay, so it's an example. That is one example of writing with depth. Okay, and the other one, remember, always think about the reviewer. Think about the reviewer, the busy reviewer. Try to tell more with fewer words. Okay, so that's why you have to come back to your essay and reduce. You'll be surprised that if you do an exercise of one paragraph, whatever, you can be surprised how you can shorten a paragraph saying the same thing with very few words. Okay, so that we always commit a mistake. Sometimes we write more to say something. So in your essay, it's crucial to tell things directly with precision, thinking about your tired, busy reviewer. Okay, and details. Put attention on details. By the way, I put here, put attention on details, every detail, okay, in the concept, writing, typos, how the essay looks, the paragraph too long, too short. Those minor details can make a big, have big implications. Okay, example here. I don't know if you notice that I didn't put attention in these slides. You can see that there is a mistake. If a reviewer see this, it will complain. Look at this. So I highlight the concepts. I highlight concept for you here. Okay, highlight, immediately I see that. And then start here. The first thing, you see, I start with capital letters, and then this is a lowercase. It's wrong, it's bad. It's not good. If you're going to give, be hiring potentially for a hiring process or application, and then they ask for a presentation, they will see, aha, this is already, somebody can pick this, and then this is a negative point. And there is another problem here. I start, some sentence start with verbs. Other sentence, not. Okay, so these are examples that I purposely, but see how this highlight how how important are details, and reviewers pick those details. Okay, we pick those details. I pick those details with my grad students or other, when I participate in PhD committees. You see, for instance, a plot, a figure, and then sometimes a small details with the font size and font size between different slides bothered you when they change that. Okay, so this is an example. So some comments for you: writing an essay, transmitting your message is not easy. It's not easy, but it's just, you have to commit to it. You have to, it's a trial and error process. You have to polish that, and then these four next quotes will help you a little bit. Let me show. First one, the American writer. Probably you have seen many movies of him. So the scariest moment is always when you start your essay, right? So just start. Once you start, everything becomes easier. American writer. Look at that. He's a professional writer, has problem writing. Okay, so we just need to go through it and then start the job. A British writer and philosopher. What I said tells you about that you have to convey the message. Words can be X-rays, can go through anything. Okay, the words are extremely powerful, but you have to turn on the X-rays. Okay, so you have to deliver the message. You have to deliver who you are, what we discuss. Okay, that's the importance of the essay. The essay is your ID. And then one of my heroes, Tchaikovsky, inspiration. Inspiration, it doesn't visit the lazy people. Well, many times we say, well, today, you know, I am not inspired. I am a bit, I don't feel like I should start this or I continue writing this. Well, Tchaikovsky tells you that, well, you are not going to get the inspiration if you just stay there and then wait for it. You have to be hardworking, okay? And then remember here from Tchaikovsky, he's telling, he's paving the way, right? You have to commit time on this. Okay, so these four writers, so three writers and one composer, Russian composer from the Romantic era, gives us insight on just go through it, dedicate time, and try to go many times over it until you are satisfied, and until the text reflect yourself. Again, what is yourself? Your motivation, why, your goals, and why you deserve this. Okay, so this is a few words, and then I open for a question and some discussion.
All right, thank you, Professor. Everyone, please go ahead and type your questions, any questions that you may have over the content that Professor shared with us today, or even if you have logistical questions about the scholarship application, then please go ahead and type them in the chat. We're getting really, really positive feedback, Professor. One of the latest comments said that this presentation is a gold mine. So thank you so much for sharing that with our students. Ariela asked if you have examples of effective essays that they can deconstruct into all the elements that you provided in the talk. I don't know if you have any, but I will definitely search in our repository of students who have applied and received our scholarships. And I will reach out to them, and I'll commit to try to do that by this Friday, because I would of course need their permission. I would block out their names, of course, but would still need their permission to post, unless, Professor, you already have some.
Yes, but I usually when I do this, I have to sign an agreement that this is absolutely confidential. So, but what I recommend, if you Google, you can find that many essays that people have uploaded. So real essays. So even I recommend my students when they go to fellowship and so on, so they can see these free resources on the web. And they are very good. And then also there are places where they analyze a little bit.
Wonderful. Any other questions that anyone has? Now's the time. This is a safe place to ask your questions. We will not be reviewing your applications, so we can give you our very honest feedback and opinions without it swaying your application in any way, shape, or form. Going once, going twice. Oh, we have a quick question. Go ahead, Ariela. Ariela, if you try raising your hand, I want to see if it will allow you to speak your question, if you use that function. Is that possible? Oh, I think I can do that. Hold on. Ariela, there's two of you in here, Ariela. Let's see if it's this one. Or maybe this one?
All right, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I just had a quick question. So if we are given a word limit, let's say 200 or 300 words, should we use as many words as we possibly can, or should we make it as short as possible?
Sorry, if I understand correctly, if you are allowed to do 200 words, you are
Yes.
saying that if I should use 200 words, right?
Yes.
Or less. Yes, for what I have seen in general is that if you have if it is very short, let's say 200 words, 100 words, try to stay close to that. Relatively close, maybe 75% of that, but extremely, sometimes extremely too short, maybe not good, except when there is a specific question and you have plenty of space, you might be very short, but when it's essay and you have 200 words for essay, you should try to fit that.
All right. Okay, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I would echo the most successful applications have been very close to the word limit.
Mm-hmm.
And I've found that with students who I've helped in reviewing their essays, usually if you dedicate the time to each of the questions, you'll find you have a lot more words than you have a limit. And so being right around that word limit shows that you've reviewed it and revised it quite a bit to keep the most relevant and pertinent information has been my experience.
Absolutely. By the way, Esther,
yes,
and also for the student that asks question, something very interesting. When is the essay? It's not bad when you have, let's say, 150 or 200 words. You write 150 and 200 words. When you see that, you send another message that you really went through it multiple times to make it that.
mm-hmm. And in fact, you can come incredibly close, but our application platform will actually not let you go over. So you have exactly,
right.
You wouldn't be able to go over. You could definitely go under. You could go under by a lot, but you can't go over. So I'm going to allow a friend to talk and ask their question.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so my question is, what would be an example of something that we should not include in the essay? For example, some things that are not that interesting or relevant to the, to the topic, or that you have seen that, oh, I mean, this is not bad, but it's not really, it's a waste of the word count.
Right. Remember, you wanted to maximize the message, and then also the reviewer is very busy, right? And then, for instance, I don't know, it's your style, okay? These are only my suggestions, and then, but at the end of the day, it is you. But for instance, when you say, hey, I have seen, I really enjoy going during the sometimes every week to go for night soccer or night movie or boats, and then okay, so what? So the reviewer can pick that, and then might not be good, but maybe you consider that is important. Go to the soccer, but you can elaborate. There is a purpose for soccer, right? Because allows you to refresh your body, your mind, and there is different ways to express that. So you have to be careful. That's why you have to go multiple times.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I agree with that. What I would say is that you should ask yourself for each sentence, is it answering the question I'm being asked, or do I need it in order to answer the question that's being asked? So if you need to talk about soccer because that's tied to your leadership or volunteer in your community, then you talk about it. But you don't talk about it if it's not tied to the question. Christina, I'm gonna have, you asked if we can repeat that. I'll allow you to talk so you can ask your question.
No, I think that's really key what you just said, to ask yourself, is this exactly what you said? Is this answering a question, or do I need it to answer this question?
Mm-hmm. I'll type that in the chat. Any other questions that we have with the audience?
I think the students start already writing their essay.
They're typing away. Yeah, I think that would be a great outcome if everyone was motivated to start right away on their essays. Well, thank you all for joining us, familia. On behalf of the SHPE familia, thank you so much, Professor Chamorro, for joining us tonight. We hope you'll enjoy. You'll join us for our last session next week. Wow, what a letter, which will go over what may be an intimidating process of requesting a letter of recommendation from a professor or supervisor in the workplace. So thank you all and have a great night. Take care, everyone.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.